You got called out last podcast.
For what?
Were you eating into your mic or something?
What
No, that
was-
wasn't-
I never
that wasn't
heard
me.
that. I didn't know what that was about.
I always make sure
I think
when
they
I
were talking
eat.
about you.
No,
No, they were talking about you, bro.
Somebody said something about a bag rustling
I
in the
didn't
back.
hear it.
Wrestling. Yeah.
And they attributed it to you. I don't know if that was true or not.
Remember you had that trail mix bag?
I'm pretty
Probably
sure.
was me.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm sorry, whoever you are. Red Can 87. I don't know.
I want to know, how many different beverages do you have over there, and what book is that?
Is there alcohol in any of those, or is it just?
No. This is a Fit Aid, and I like my drinks really cold, so I have 2 cups of ice.
Oh, but they're both orange. What's the orange drink?
Fit Aid.
The Fit Aid.
Okay. What's the book underneath?
It's a book for Rich.
Oh, okay.
It's RP, Fit for Success.
Oh,
Wrote by
okay.
Nick.
I just wondering what you're reading.
Did
Okay.
you finally finish that trail mix? Because I've seen that bag around here for like the last.
I just keep. Oh no, that bag. That's the worst trail mix ever. It's all pretzel. This stuff, these peanut butter pretzels, I can't stop.
No,
this is like my 4th jug in a week.
They're-
I'm not even kidding you.
They're so
They're so good. I wish they had a little bit more peanut butter in them.
Yeah,
Oh, they're so
but today I put chocolate chips in it.
have you had the chocolate covered
brilliant.
ones? Publix sells chocolate covered peanut butter pretzels. Don't.
Why would you
lied.
tell me
They
that?
don't have them anymore. They're sold out.
Where do you
Forever.
get those? Where do you get them at?
Actually, this is at the gas station down the road.
Oh man, that's awesome.
You can get them anywhere.
Oh, you can?
Publix.
The
Kroger,
serving
forget
size
it.
is like 8 or something. It's terrible.
8 containers.
Yeah, exactly.
I bought this yesterday at 3 p.m. And it's
No.
it's gone. It's all gone. There's
Ben,
no
that's
more.
like 8,000 calories in
When
that
I feel
thing.
real
don't
bad,
care.
what I'll do is I'll pop them
I feel
and I'll
good.
throw away half the pretzel and eat,
Yeah.
cut carbs a little bit.
That's good.
Or I'll just pop them and just eat the peanut butter out of them.
Or Aldi, you can buy
it's like a different
big
peanut
bag.
butter.
It is
pretty- yeah.
peanut butter.
Oh, I want peanut
And
butter
sometimes
pretzels now.
But I
you
like
take
the
a little bit
salty.
of jelly
Me
too,
too.
and put a little jelly on the outside.
That's one way to make them way good for you.
That might be a pro
It
tip.
got fruit, you know.
Yeah, a little bit of, oh my gosh.
I love jelly.
It's delicious.
Well, Haley just told me about this machine that you stick fruit in, which it's called something like, sounds
juicer?
like a nanner. No,
what?
well,
nanner?
that sounds.
A
it
fruit
sound-
ninja?
No, it's called
A
like
ninja, a bullet or ninja bullet
I
are
have one.
incredible. I use
Yeah.
it for a shake
Really?
every time.
Yeah.
I put my almond milk in, drop a banana in, 2 scoops of protein, and then some of that powdered peanut butter.
Oh, it sounds so
So
good.
good.
Slice
But
and dice.
this thing's called like nanners or noonders or so, and you put the fruit in and it makes it the consistency of ice cream, and it comes out as ice. Let me look up what
I'm a
it is.
fan,
Yeah.
so there's got to be ice involved.
There has to be.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's. I just put it in my Amazon cart along with the cookbook. Oh, you guys will laugh. Let me just tell you, it is a cookbook for. I can't even. Hold on. Let me pull it up, because it's not just fruit. It's hold on. Let me pull it up. Let's see if
Hey,
I-
do you guys, while she's looking that up, do you actually shop at a gas station for anything other than gas? Like, I mean, as a part of your routine.
Oh, as
No.
a routine, no. When I travel, yes, I eat
Yeah.
all kinds of junk on the way home from our tournament.
That's fun.
Like, some people actually do that, though. They go to the gas station to shop. They get groceries. Like, I do for sunflower seeds. Like, whenever I have a
Oh,
hankering
there's
for
some good,
sunflower seeds.
some good sunflower seeds. Like
Yeah.
the flavored ones.
Have you had ranch?
Ranch is good.
Ranch,
The dill
wow.
pickle one, the barbecue
Dill
one.
pickle.
Ooh,
Cracked
pickle
pepper.
would be good.
We had this talk the other. I'm not a huge pepper flavored fan. I like pepper like on a steak. Mostly like all I'll put on a steak is garlic, salt, and pepper.
Right.
But not a ton of pepper. I don't like when the pepper overpowers. So
Agreed.
like peppered jerky, don't like it.
Oh,
No.
I like
Yeah.
pepper jerky.
I don't like it.
I don't know.
So,
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
almost
cracked
like
pepper.
two.
That's your sunflower
Yeah,
seed go-to.
I hate the fact that I cannot remember the name of this brand, but it's one specific brand. I can't remember the name of it.
Is it like the
It's-
popular one that the bag's like half red at the top, kind
No,
of?
it's a gray bag, and you can't really find it. You can get the further south you go, you find it at all the gas stations, and I have to like buy a bunch. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like my
I think
go-to.
I think I've had buffalo flavored one too.
Is it one
Buffalo
of these?
are good
Silver?
ones.
Yeah, buffalo.
Have you had the buffalo pretzels?
Those.
They're incredible. What about the pretzel pieces? There's like honey
I know
mustard
exactly what
pretzel
you're talking about.
pieces.
Yeah, they're so good.
Holy
Yes.
Big boy
cow.
Spitz?
Snyder's or something like
Yep.
that.
In the middle there?
That's
The
it.
one in the middle. That's it.
Big boy Spitz?
Yeah.
Boy
Where do you...
Spitz?
Yeah.
Spitz, cracked pepper, sunflower seeds. I can drive 8 hours with a couple of those bags.
Really?
My mouth will be raw when I get
Yeah.
there, but I'm there.
Kettle roast.
Do
I haven't
you
seen
like
that.
crack them a certain way and then spit them in a cup? Is that what you do?
Yeah, you just get a cup, shove them in one side of your mouth.
And you have to switch the side of the mouth every once in a while.
For sure.
Oh, jeez.
For sure.
He knows. He knows what he's talking about.
Wow.
I didn't dip playing baseball, so I ate sunflower seeds.
Huh?
I've dipped twice in my life and got sick both times. like
Sounds
throw
It
up
was
sick
like
every time.
Sandlot story, right?
I cannot smell wintergreen dip, or else I will get sick.
Oh, that sounds so
It
bad.
makes my stomach.
Have you ever-
turn. And I did it both times when I was 18.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
it's been 17 years,
Still have an aversion
15
to it.
years math, but still I can't do it.
18 years old, pep
15.
rally right before the Friday night football game. Guy next to me, a friend of mine, says, "Hey, try this Copenhagen." That year, I had tried like every kind of chew you could try. That was for whatever reason I was into it and I was trying it. Big dip of Copenhagen, threw it in there.
Oh.
I got so sick, I almost couldn't play
That bad?
because I was gutting it. And
Why does it make you sick? Aside from the fact it just looks
It's poison.
gross?
Yeah.
Well, I have
Rat
no
poison,
experience
maybe.
there at all.
It was so bad.
I
And
just
I
don't
was
understand how people can do it. Then how?
like, never again.
My brother does it. That's
Have
why
you
I
ever
said
tried?
that. No.
You're not one of
wait.
those girls? You ever-
No.
Try
Oh,
it.
I've never
It's
packed a lip.
silver.
There was
Are you kidding?
I went to school with some like kind of
What?
like rural cowboy kinds of, and there was
Can't believe
one
you just asked me that.
super hot chick in my senior year in her class, super good looking, holy smoke, and she chewed, big old walking
In
around,
Colorado?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
just,
and I
oh.
could never get over that hump. Literally, is that the right thing to say? Maybe I shouldn't say
literally.
it that way. I could never get past the fact she chewed. Like, man, you look really good, but
Do you?
Lakeland wants to just. Have you watched WandaVision yet?
No.
You didn't watch it?
What is that?
It's about Wanda, which was Scarlet Witch in Marvel. You want to tell him? Did you like it? You were the one that wanted to talk about this. You told me to tell him. Now you have to talk. You're not going to talk?
what's her name?
Wanda.
Wanda?
Yeah, if you don't, you don't watch any
No.
of those. Scarlet Witch is her like.
I was trying to
superhero
get her to
name.
talk, man.
She has powers. Lakeland, that's her favorite. That
What's-
and
what-
Black
what's-
Widow, right?
Lakeland, what's her favorite power? Like she's
What's
a
her
great
favorite thing to do?
swimmer.
No, you
What?
didn't.
Like
No, you tell him. you what?
It's like telephone.
Oh,
Let's see if he can
pick,
translate.
She can pick things up, like levitate things.
Ooh, I want that.
That's your favorite? Okay.
What is
That's
that
nice.
power called? That's called something, no?
levitation.
Yeah.
Telekinesis or something?
We watched episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and part of 5 on the way home for Star Wars.
gosh.
Me, AJ, Tasha, and Scott. Ben, you gotta watch Star Wars.
I don't need to.
You watch Star Wars?
The original ones,
Yeah.
all the original ones,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, those are so good.
They're good.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm not like a huge
Right.
Star Wars crazy. Jake Lockhart is a closet like Star Wars.
Is he?
Yeah.
he likes Star Wars.
So that's why he loves Mandalorian then, huh?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to watch these, because just to see the Mandalorian, like how the Mandalorian connects, but it's not really.
He
any
knows like
connection.
all that kind of sci-fi, like
Yeah, he's
Pokemon.
big on Pokemon and
He's a nerd.
Harry Potter.
He's a nerd.
And Marvel
There
stuff.
was one week for Mayhem TV that they're all named Pokemon, and I would go to
I couldn't read
talk through it, and he's like, no. That's not right. I'm
We're
like,
gonna
I
teach
have
him
no
to
idea
say
what
this
this word
correctly.
is.
Oh gosh.
All I know is Pikachu.
Yeah, that's about it. That's where that stops.
I was coming out of the coffee shop one day, and there's all these people, like 40 people, milling around the front of the coffee shop, and they're looking at screens.
Pokemon Go?
Yeah, and I got no idea what any
Wait,
of this
that's
is.
back? Pokemon Go's back? The one where you walk around and play?
Maybe this is about a year ago. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
But I was freaking out. I'm like, what are
Yeah.
you people doing? And there's this guy next to me, and he had a cardboard, like, little platform tray thing
Yeah.
that he had, like, a thing to ride on, and he had made this thing, and he'd crafted it carefully, and he was, like, all intense staring at it. I'm like, what are you people doing?
The
This
idea
is-
behind that was actually kind of fun.
That was
It kinda-
really-
We
yeah.
did it for like 2 or 3 days, and I was like, I can't do this. This is
There's
worthless.
enough time.
Chris and I did one of those ones. It wasn't Pokemon Go, but it's like you search for something, same type of app, and we like
Yeah.
had to go find it in Cookville. Like
It's also
this
super
thing.
dangerous.
Totally.
That's what I was getting ready to say. These idiots are looking. They're gonna get killed.
You talking
Has
about
anybody ever
manifesting?
been killed
Yeah.
playing it?
Okay, Manifest. Haley told me about that, and that is not good. Bad news bears.
I mean, I'm still here.
Did you do one?
Yeah, I did like 2 or 3.
You didn't tell us.
What is
happened?
it?
What'd you manifest?
Yeah, money, I think, or
Did
something.
you find money?
No, it like took me to a farm over on like Dry Valley.
So it didn't even work.
Well, you also have to get out of your car and like go adventure to the woods.
What?
And I was
that
like-
sounds horribly unsafe. How does
I
this
th-
game work?
Well, I think so. Like the idea is like they want you to get out and like interact.
Ah, okay.
But I mean, I didn't get out of my car. Obviously, one, there was a gate and I couldn't even get into the driveway. But I mean, I felt like I could see the location, and it didn't look like anything. It was just like a little building.
Maybe there was a bag of money there, Ben, that you just missed out on.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It'd still be a bag of
'Cause
gold
it
out
Money's
there.
not everything, though, you know?
Bag of gold.
Just there because you
Maybe.
manifested it.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's still waiting.
And I can't remember what the other thing was, but it took me to, again, just like someone's house.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, how committed are
Just
you?
knock
I guess.
on
Oh,
the door.
it was those houses over by the YMCA.
Yeah.
That
it was
that really nice. Those really nice houses.
Oh, Chatsworth.
Yes, it took me over there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there.
Yeah, that one I actually did not have to get out of my car. I was just like at somebody's house, and I was like,
What did
okay.
you manifest for that one? Money
I don't
again?
remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
You could have told him you were taking donations.
I was really uncomfortable with Haley doing any of that when she
Yeah,
was
that's not
talking
smart.
about that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no.
She never did any, so we're good.
Her frozen dessert maker is called Yo Nana's.
Yo, Nanas.
Yo Nana's. And get this, here's the cookbook. Frozen healthy dessert maker, 121 unique frozen treats and alcoholic desserts.
Sounds like a great book for you.
I was about to say, Ellie, did you write the book?
No, why would that even be a combination? Healthy fruit desserts and what? But then it also includes things like mashed potatoes, hummus, and guacamole.
I do like me some hummus.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Spicy
I
Lakeland
need
loves
this
some
thing.
guacamole, don't you? Like, it's
Okay,
one of your
there's this
favorites.
Lakeland, you
hummus
can make your own
by
guacamole on
Boar's
this
Head.
machine.
That's like a sweet chili hummus. I'm not kidding. I've tried a lot of different hummuses.
Hummus.
Hummus.
Hamai?
In my life.
Hamai?
And this one's
Hamai.
by far the best one ever. You have
Hummus?
to try it.
Where do you get it?
At Publix.
Publix. Boar's Head.
Boar's Head. It's,
All
like,
right, I'm gonna try
I'm
it.
in.
I've seen them.
it's so
I
good.
usually get this Sabra.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah,
me
I
too.
love
the
that brand.
like
That brand's
yeah.
roasted red pepper one's good, and then
Ooh,
the,
I like that
the
one.
caramelized onion one is really good.
Yeah, they're all
You're
good.
gonna
I
be
like the
mind
pine
blown.
nut one.
I actually had some last night.
We would
Some
Hummus?
carrots.
Okay.
Hummus.
Yeah. But you know how like most times when you're eating hummus and you have vegetables, you're like, I wish this was like a cracker.
Yeah.
This Boar's
Yes.
Head one, the carrot is so good. You don't even need a cracker.
It's so true. I wish this was a freaking cracker.
That is the most like that is a very real
Like this
truth.
hummus would be a
Yeah.
lot better with like a chip or
Yeah.
a cracker.
Speaking
You're like,
of
this carrot
crackers,
is good, but
Kristen bought the generic brand of crackers, and you cannot do that. You must only buy
What
premium
kind? Like
crackers.
wheat thins or
No, crackers,
Wheat
like
Thins?
saltine
oh,
crackers.
saltines?
it's like a texture thing because
Yeah,
like
they don't
some
taste
they can
right.
be too firm. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Ate
Well, I
by
don't know about
saltines without salt. I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Low sodium saltines. Just
That
teens.
doesn't make
Just teens.
I'm like,
Just eens, actually, I guess.
like that sounds like the worst type of cracker.
For sure. What are you even doing?
I wouldn't
Yeah.
eat that for. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right. Buy something
It's
else.
like
Yeah.
church cracker, right?
Huh?
Like church cracker.
Wafers? Like,
They don't have salt on them.
yeah.
I love those things.
I've been trying to figure out how to sell. I'm not gonna. This
Church
is not
crackers?
gonna make it. No. What I want to do is. This is not gonna make any sense. Just help me with this. I wanna bottle air and sell air.
You ever seen the Lorax?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the
O'Hare
Lorax?
air.
Yeah, like Mayhem
No,
Air.
there's a movie, The Lorax, and they have bottled air
Yeah.
because all the trees are gone. It's like a very this is a Dr. Seuss movie, but it's very, it's hippie. Come on, let's be honest. Like it's
Yeah, I
it's
like
good.
it.
It is good.
So Silver,
yeah, he
you were
bottles
onto
air.
something.
Well, see, if they can bottle water, what we do is we get Rich to breathe.
Wouldn't that be bottling
Ooh.
carbon dioxide though?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And we catch it really quick, and then we sell
Catch
it
it.
for like $7.
For
Send-
$7.
$7. Here's Rich breathes into this. No, this is not working.
No.
I mean, there is something
If
to
you
be said
promise
about
like
that.
a faster time in their workout or something.
Right.
Speaking breathing, we did some cold water stuff in
You
Florida.
did?
Really?
What'd you do?
The pool was just cold.
Oh, you got
So, so after every football game, we'd get in there for like 10 minutes.
feel good?
That's
It
awesome.
felt really good. And then we would do like 5 minutes hot, 5 minutes cold. Or I was the only one that did it, but
Was there a hot
So-
tub nearby?
no.
Wow.
I filled up the bathtub upstairs.
That's awesome.
3 flights of stairs upstairs.
That's
You guys are-
dedication.
you run back and
Cold, we did like 10-minute cold plunge. It was probably 50-ish degrees, 40-ish, 45-ish.
Wow.
So,
Terribly
That is
cold.
actually pretty
What do you
cool.
think about like? So I used to do cold bath, and I thought it worked.
I like it.
Sometimes it's like
felt pretty good.
some people are saying now like cold's not the right thing when it comes to injuries.
Well, ice, they're saying, isn't
ice.
huge. If you go back and forth, they're saying the contrast stuff, the hot, the cold. So you're like
used to do
5
that in
minutes
college,
hot,
yeah.
5 minutes cold, 5 minutes hot, 5 minutes cold, 2 or 3 times. So you're just shocking the system and increasing blood flow, restricting the veins and then also dilating the veins with the heat. So
It's just so
just getting new
painful.
blood in there. Actually, it wasn't once.
It's exhausting.
Actually, the
You get used to it if you do it
Well,
often.
yeah, it just depends on how cold how cold the air was. That sucked. If you were already cold, like post-workout was fine, or like as soon as we'd get done playing was fine. But if you, like one of the days we went and we played, went and ate somewhere, and it was kind of on the beach, and it was windy, and it was like high 50s, but we were outside for like 2 or 3 hours, and it was kind of, you're cold, and then we went in ice. It was not fun. But if you were like warm and then went into it, you were all right.
Well, crazy you guys mentioned this because, of course, I went down the rabbit hole the other day and listened to this Stanford professor on temperature and all those things because we've been doing the Wim Hof thing, and I just kind of wanted to like understand it more, the differences and things. And he goes all into that, and it also like a lot of it has to do with like your like light and all of those things too. But what he was saying is, as the day goes, your body temperature rises and then falls. So it also depends, like, for instance, if you want to be able to get up earlier every day, if you wake up and the first thing you do, like set your alarm for around the time you want to wake up, start waking up regularly, and you take a cold shower, that prepares your body for the following day to be able to wake up at that time because of the way it's going to be lowering your body temperature for that time of day the next day, something crazy like that. But he also, like, he talked about the differences between, so in Wim Hof breathing, that sort of thing, if you want to use cold, I don't know if you guys have ever heard people discuss brown fat. Brown fat's supposed to make you leaner, and it happens when you start doing this cold therapy. It makes you leaner, increases your metabolism. What are you going to say? Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know. We just went from cold to brown fat. I'm trying to try.
Because that's how you accumulate. There's pink fat, white fat, that's like blubbery fat. Mm-hmm. Brown fat is... Rich is probably made of brown fat. Let's put it that way.
No, I would say the pink white fat.
Tasia said you're made of blubber.
Real big pink fat white guy.
Yeah.
Pink white fat guy. I don't know where we're going.
Okay. Well,
I'm trying to track
Rich,
it.
I have a real question though. Maybe you can answer this based on body temperature.
No, she can't.
When I go to sleep and I'm cold, I wake up and I'm hot.
Sweating.
I know, but like, what's my body temperature is changing?
Did you cover up with a blanket because you were cold?
Quite possibly.
that would be.
I thought your body temperature changed though when you slept.
Yes, it starts. Okay, it's supposed to get colder as you sleep.
You know what?
So if it rises while you're sleeping, this was in it. This was in the talk because I wake up sweating all the time. But if you eat a meal closer to bed, or if you eat at, like you said, you ate and then it felt colder, that's because your metabolism turns up your body temperature. So if you eat closer to bedtime, or if anytime you eat, you're starting metabolic functioning, which is heating up your body.
Correct.
Okay.
So if
body temperature decreases during the nighttime sleep phase and rises during the wake phase. Sleep is most likely to occur when the core temperature decreases. Oh my gosh.
Decreatures.
And much less likely to occur during the rises. So it's
Is
just.
this on WebMD?
I'm like,
This is okay.
Do you eat or exercise near your sleep time? Because if that
I try not
occurs,
to
then you
exercise anymore. I used to, but it keeps me awake.
yeah, because you're like body
And I
still
have kids.
going.
also if you take I think it's backwards. I think if you take a warm shower before you sleep, it should help sleep.
I thought
I
it
think
was
it's
opposite.
Yeah, I think
But
it's
it's your body. It's opposite. I remember thinking it was
Because
opposite of what
wanna
I thought.
You want to get cold before you go
Yeah,
to
you
bed.
No,
your
I did
body
read this.
Right, but
if you
your body will respond the opposite. I think.
take a hot shower, it helps lower your core temperature, which helps you to sleep because
Right,
it
it's
forces the
opposite of
blood
what
to
you
your
think.
skin. Yeah.
So that's why if you take a cold, is going to end up waking you up.
Yeah,
Hey,
cold
so
AM.
anybody listening to this should research it themselves
Yeah,
because
probably don't
we're
listen
getting a
to
lot of
any of these
mixed
facts.
information here.
Oh yeah.
just
yeah.
agreed.
None of this is true at all.
So, Rich, tell us about your football game.
We had 4 of them. It was a lot of fun.
How many did you win at 4?
We
Yes.
we won 2, tied 1, and then lost the last one. So it was
1, 2,
3 pool play games, and then 8-team tournament. So you had to make the tournament through pool play. They only took the top 8 teams. So we were the 3 seed, which really doesn't mean anything. But then we ended up losing in that quarterfinal game because, well, we had some too much talking instead of just playing from some of the people. We combined 2 teams. It was a lot of fun, honestly. the competition was way different than I expected, I guess. A lot of these people travel around and do this on the regular, and we were just kind of not thrown together. We've practiced together and know each other, but this is the first time we've really played together and against some good competition. So it was a ton of fun. Like, I had a lot of fun. I'd like to do it again, but it was the teams there were really good, really athletic, and but man, it was intense. They weren't like here the games we have, you know, for the first probably 5 or 10 minutes, it's intense, and then you coast after that because, you know, our teams here were pretty good. You know, there might be one game a season that you're like playing the whole game. These games were like you're fighting the entire the full time. So it was hard. Like, I was beat up.
What was your strain?
Usually like 16 or the first day on Saturday when we played 2 games, it was like 17 or 18, I think. Because we played back-to-back games. And we just don't move like that. You don't sprint like that.
Yeah.
You don't sprint in that volume like that. You don't cut like that. We were playing on turf. I hadn't ran in probably 6 weeks because of my calf. So it was
How are you feeling today?
Honestly, today I feel all right because we played 2 on Saturday. Sunday I was really sore. We played 1 on Sunday. I was pretty sore yesterday. But we only played 1 again yesterday. So the 8-hour car ride, honestly, was the worst part. But
I thought it was really cool. You guys combined,
there was
the
2 teams,
local
the 2 local
in the
teams.
championship.
We've played each other the last 3 years in the championship, last 3 seasons, and it's always us 2. And so we took 5 or 6 of us and 5 or 6 of them and combined onto one team, and it was a lot of fun. It was
Your uniforms were awesome.
Didn't
by
really
the way.
know
They
what
were
to
so
expect,
funny.
but it was a ton of fun, and
What was the
it
name
made
of
some
the
good
team?
new friends. Cheap Suits.
That was so good.
Those tuxedo T-shirts.
That was cool.
I like those.
It was funny.
so good.
Yeah, Dre did a good job with those. So, yeah, it was a ton of fun. It was, like I said though, there were some really good athletes, and we were actually in the lowest 7-on-7 division. So there was there was a pro division. So it's like that AAFL or whatever, American Flag Football League or whatever.
Okay.
And then there was a elite division, and then a
Competitive,
competitive, and then rec.
Jeez.
And we were in rec. And
Oh my gosh, really?
I don't know if some of these other teams should not have, I don't know where
Should have scaled up a
our
little?
division had the most teams in it. But I mean, seeing how good of the athletes that we played, I don't really know, how much better the athletes could have gotten. Maybe just more organized, I guess. But
How long is each game?
so they're 20-minute halves.
Okay, that's a lot.
20-minute halves, a 5-minute halftime, but inside, so it's a running clock up to 2 minutes. Jim will understand 2 minutes, and then at 2 minutes it goes to like college rules, where first down, stop the clock, out of bounds, stop the clock, that type of stuff.
Jeez.
But that last game, we had, it's bad when the referee's like, he's giving his credentials before the game starts with his ego, and you're just kind of like, oh, this is not going to be good. And we had him the day before, and one of our guys, we've played him before, and I couldn't, you want to fight this type of kid? He's just like, shut your mouth. And so I was a little worried. And as a teammate, the guy's incredible. He's got your back. He's a good kid. But he just will not keep his mouth shut to the other team, and then also to the refs. And so they kind of had it out for us at that point. And I'm not making excuses. We should have lost anyway, but the refs were terrible. Some of the worst referees, inadvertent whistle in the middle of a play, and because they have the push button, because they were blowing whistle all weekend, so they don't want to wreck their ears and all that stuff. So they have these push button ones, and the guy accidentally pushed the button in the middle of the play, so we stopped playing.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's so in the middle of not because a flag pull, and he thought a flag was pulled. Ball is in the air, so he blows a whistle. We thought it was a false start.
Right.
We let the play happen. Touchdown.
Oh,
well, then it's result of the play. The offense gets to select, which that's an extenuating. So you blew the whistle in the at the beginning of the play. It should have been a dead ball.
Yeah.
Replay the down. It was BS.
Wow.
And so that happened. There was several other questionable calls, and interpretation of the rule was incorrect, and everybody on our team is blowing up. And me and AJ, we were talking about it. AJ. We were both like, just shut up and play. You still got to pull flags. You still got to catch the ball. You still got to throw the ball. But these guys were everybody's imploding at this point. And then Mason is going on after this ref and on and on. And finally the ref he ejects him. Then we're going down to score within 2 minutes. And we would have been within a touchdown. And then we would have had the clock and some timeouts. We might not have gotten the ball back. We were going to lose probably anyway. 90% chance, but there was still a chance. And Mason just keeps on this ref, jawing at him on the sideline after he's ejected.
Right.
And the ref throws another personal foul and sportsmanlike ends the game. And we're just like,
wow.
well, okay, see you later.
Aw.
So
Man.
Well,
it was
so-
one of those things. But man, there was people get heated and it's funny. There's like
sure.
almost several fights and stuff like
Right.
that. Just
I
'cause-
can't even imagine when my one football experience was that little game we played of handball, and I was like, thought I was gonna fight someone. I didn't even thought I cared about
Well,
it.
that's what we were saying. It's like we got done because we played those 2 games, and so you're on edge,
Yeah.
right? Because they were competitive games. You know, like a lot of these teams are playing in or one of the teams we played was playing in a limited contact division as well. And we're not playing contact. I'm fine playing contact if I expect contact to come. I got hit so hard one time that I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't like, we're not playing contact, so your guard's kind of down. I'm running across the middle, and I'm not even like, you know, I'm a receiver at this point, and this dude sticks his shoulder right underneath my, like, right in my chest. And my back hit the ground before anything else, like took the wind out of me. And it was on purpose. Like you don't just like if it was on accident, he would have been down too. He didn't move. I got just upended. And so he tries to help me up. Oh man, I didn't see you. And I said some stuff I probably shouldn't have and did not accept his apology because it wasn't real and he did it on purpose. Like don't BS me that you're like, oh my bad dog. Like no. So that wasn't good. Well, so then it just kept snowballing from there. And then AJ, some guy shoulder checks him. And then, you know, AJ says a few things like, if you're going to hit me, then actually hit me. And then everybody combines and a couple choice words and, you know, stuff you wouldn't want your mom, you know, like to see or hear. It's not good. But
AJ's such an interesting person. AJ's been at Mayhem since I've ever known.
Right.
He was a student at Tech and then a coach here for a long time.
Most
and now,
level-headed.
Yeah.
What is it? 931.
Yeah, performance.
Performance.
Right. Yep.
He's doing my
trainer.
physical therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're anywhere near here and you need a good physical therapist, he's the dude. But he's interesting because he's so measured, and he was like one of the top golfers.
Yep, at Tech.
At Tech. But then he looks like a linebacker.
Yeah, he's
like,
huge.
or should have played
huge.
basketball or something. And he's always so stinking measured. And when you were sending those videos on Instagram, I could see that compete in his face, and I was like,
It's fun to hang around with him, to be on a
something
team
different.
with.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was cool, like I said, to some of those guys that you think you had a different opinion of because we always played against them. Being on the team with them, it was fun.
Yeah.
Like they're good dudes, and like I have some good friends now from that.
That's cool.
That I, you know, before that I'd been like, I don't really like that guy, you know, like those types of things because you get in a competitive, you know, moment and it happens. But
what I thought was really interesting was you were pushing I've never seen you in like pink and all white
know,
or
right?
all white.
All white.
I was like,
You guys
okay,
are
look
the
at
short
Rich.
shorts
Look at
too,
Rich.
man.
He's owning
Well,
this.
like,
so you
yep.
can't wear shorts with pockets, right?
Nice.
Okay.
And so I bought some rugby shorts. I didn't realize the rugby shorts were going to be that short.
I thought it was legit. I'm
Yesterday,
like, they look ready.
we got done. I was like, I'm not wearing these tights. I'll just wear these shorts home. And as we're walking out, we're at the like back field, and I'm like, so I didn't have the tights on underneath them, and I'm like, I can't do this. And so I had to immediately. I got back to the car. I was like, I felt like everybody's just looking at me because like my quads are not the smallest, and I'm in these these shorts are like the shorts you guys wear. Like they're that high. They were that high.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
those military kind of shorts.
Yeah, they're whatever
they
rugby
look
shorts,
legit.
and my quads swallowed them. But it was funny too because one of the guys didn't have no pocket shorts, and so they told him like, hey, you gotta either take those shorts off or not play. I was like, hey, I've got an extra pair, and to see that everybody was laughing because the difference of him wearing because they were the same ones I had but black. Him wearing them versus me wearing them. So like I sent the gif of SpongeBob when he's like flexing his quads and they're like this because it looked like it. Like his legs, my legs, they would ride up because of just the way my quads were. They would like they weren't touching his quads whatsoever.
Blowing
and
in the wind.
they're like mediums, so it was funny.
Oh, that's really funny. So
That's
are you
awesome.
already training for next year? Is the
Yeah,
question.
no,
Are
well,
you
we
guys,
talked about
like,
playing in one in March actually because it was that much fun. Like I had a good time. It's so much more fun to do that type of stuff though, without the expectation. Like we want to win, of course. Like, and we're gonna compete to win, but without the expectation of you're supposed to win or you have to win. Like anything we do with CrossFit, it's like you have to win. It's supposed to win. Blah blah blah. And if you don't, what happened? And so, it's fun to do like that and do those triathlons and stuff like that where. Heck yeah, we're out there to compete.
Yeah.
And I want to win, but it's not expected. And
Something to be said about using your athleticism though too. Like
Yeah.
I know like a lot of CrossFitters are like, oh, they're the fittest athletes, but it's like a lot of them haven't played a ball sport, you know? And then it's like you see them move, so it's cool that you can actually go use your athleticism for like because you're very athletic, you know?
It's fun, man. It's like takes me back to playing school stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, those things, like you're still living those, you know, high
if
school
we start
dreams.
like a handball league,
Handball
I'd
league.
play.
All right.
We used to play once a week
yeah.
It was actually part of Wednesdays were hard because we went
Handball
hard.
is good. I think we should do dodgeball.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
My elbow always gets hurt anytime we play dodgeball because I try to throw it as hard as I can.
Yeah.
What was that game we played where like we were annihilating each other against the wall? Where like you can get to hit the
It's
person with the ball.
Wall ball.
Yeah, that game gave me nightmares. Because if you do something wrong, like you have to go up there and get hit with it.
Yeah, if you miss.
Yeah,
You just have to stand there while someone.
Did you ever
Kind
play
of,
that
yeah.
one with us? So you throw a ball like a tennis ball off the wall, and then you have to field it like a baseball.
Okay.
And if you miss it, the person runs up and grabs it, and they try to hit the wall before you run and touch the wall. And if you touch the wall, you're
It's
safe.
so bad.
But if you don't touch the wall, you have to stand there with your
gives me
hands behind
nightmares.
your
They
back.
throw a tennis
and
ball
throw
at
a tennis ball.
It hurts so, and they all have really good arms. It's not like, and sometimes it would just like miss you, and you'd hear it, and you're like, and you try not to move. I can't
I'm
even.
fast, so I'd be okay at that part, but I would never be able to
Field the ball.
field it.
No, I
Yeah,
got
no,
destroyed
playing sports
on
is fun. It was like I said, it was good to like get back out there and play something super competitive. We play competitive on the weekends, but it's not. That was real competitive,
different.
and like, you know,
Yeah.
you get that little bit of anger to you. I guess
Yeah.
it's different. It's different, you know. Hard part is you can't. I mean, there's no contact.
I
There
can't
was
believe
even-
someone got you to the ground because in the handball days there was like, you know, I think I'm like
I'm
tough,
telling you,
not tough.
I
He-
was not looking at all. I'm looking back here, full speed, and some dude was just planted there or running at me. I'm not sure. Scott didn't have it on camera. I wish he did. Bobby Norwood saw it because he was coaching. He's like, dude, that guy was not. It was not an accident.
No, heck no.
So, I mean, you could even see there was one of the videos that Scott had, and I reach in, and the dude runs up and just plows me. And I'm like, come on, man. Like,
That's
what
what I
are
was
we
just getting
doing
ready
here?
to say.
Yeah.
If there's no contact, you were already going to score.
Yeah.
And he put
And
his
then he's like,
body
oh,
right
my
into
bad,
it.
my bad. And you're like, come on,
You
man.
just threw me to the ground.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
It's good, man. That's fun.
It's fun.
I wish I could do that stuff still. That's
I know.
Those
That's
are
why
good
I'm like,
times.
I'm gonna play it as long as I can. You know,
100%.
like he's like, do you really need to be doing that? I'm like, I've probably got 3 or 4 more years of being able to do it at a higher level, and then it's like, all right, we're done.
Actually, I was leaving here last night, and somebody stopped me, and he's a big fan, and he has a good heart, but he was like, Rich is a professional athlete. I can't believe he does that stuff. And I was like, and I was gonna try to explain to him, but and be kind, like you don't really understand.
Yeah.
Like you don't. He's lived his whole entire life competing.
Yeah.
And half of that is just for fun. And this other stuff is so serious, just like what you just said. It's awesome to dial it all the way up.
Yep.
And of course you're risking injury. But yeah.
Yeah.
But
What are you not going to go do competitively that's not going to risk injury, whether it's
Right.
ride a mountain
Well,
bike
and
or
that too. If you're doing it, it's like when you play thinking you're gonna get hurt. That's when you get hurt.
it's a big
You
deal.
play wide open. It's like
Haley.
You probably,
But,
What?
but don't you like think like that's part of like how you're hardwired though? Like risky and optimistic, like people might not, but you are very risky and optimistic, and that's probably
still
why
training
you're so,
too.
like,
You know, like
Yeah.
working on my sprint speed and lateral ability, and
Yeah.
you know, and we got took Scott, so it was work. You know, so
So, something like
counts,
that.
right?
Honestly, I can't wait to see the video, so I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that'll
was
be
fun.
really, really fun.
Like, I wish we would have done better. I mean, like I said, the team that won, they were really good. New Orleans Wolfpack, we watched them, and all the guys are like 35, I think they said, but they knew what they were doing, and it was fun to watch them. But I mean, as far as athletes go, I feel like we were pretty comparable.
Based on athleticism or more on what's it called? Like plays? Do teams have a lot of strategy, or is it more just athleticism?
It's a lot of mass chaos, but there is some plays in there. But athleticism plays a big role in it. I mean, and really just executing and not like our defense. Honestly, when we were practicing, everybody's worried about our defense sucks. Our defense allowed, I think, that last game we allowed more touchdowns than we did the entire tournament. So it was like. Just having, like I said, some athletes and pulling flags, and we went from being used to pulling 3 flags, 2 on the hip, 1 on the back here, to only having 2 flags to pull. So it was a little bit different.
Oh, so once they're past you, it's over.
Ish, yeah.
Oh,
Unless you can catch back up to them.
that'll make it a
Well,
little,
I kinda
more
like that idea,
complicated.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a
Yeah.
good time.
Well, what's more
That's
like
awesome.
football? Is football what would be more
Nothing.
relatable?
Nothing. Nothing
Even
about
either.
flag football is like
Gotcha.
football, actually. No.
Have you guys ever? So I had some very interesting Uber drivers. I went for a quick trip home this last weekend. Do you guys have any interesting stories from your Uber drivers? You know, I talk to Uber drivers, obviously. So
Yeah, I for sure do. Holy smokes! I worked for a boss back in my corporate days who got into, this was a cab back in those days, and the guy kidnapped her.
what?
Yeah, like
No.
full on kidnapped her.
How'd you get away?
He drove her out to an airport, like
What?
out somewhere to the airport, and was like going to kill himself and her based on all her problems or his
What?
problems. And she talked him into a spot where he kind of turned around and she grabbed his hand and got out the door and ran straight up.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm like, hey, how was your weekend? And she was like, and like cops and the whole 9 yards. Like,
Wow.
yeah. So there's
That's frightening.
Yeah,
I don't
for
think
sure.
I can compare
No, I got nothing.
She got into a cab and it was like he was off duty and she didn't realize it.
Okay.
Like he was actually a cabbie, but he wasn't working. Can you even say
Yeah.
that, a cabbie?
Yeah, I think they try to put like safety restrictions on Uber now. Like, I guess you could technically still like kidnap someone, but they would like know, right? Because you're
Yeah,
like
right
in a
away.
system.
Well, you're the one who told me to check the license plate. I didn't do that till you told me.
Yeah, I learned that in like when I was in Miami, I almost got into a car that wasn't an Uber, but they were acting like an Uber because I didn't check the address. And then my Uber came and was like, "Hey, they're just gonna steal your bags or steal you or something." Like, you just put your bags in and then they're like, "Pay you."
That is
Luckily,
really...
I didn't get in it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was in Chicago with a guy and he invited me to, it was the whole Palestinian Israel conflict, that whole deal. And as soon as I get in the Uber, he began to tell me about his political views as a Palestinian. And I'm not saying what's right or wrong.
Yeah.
And then he was just talking about how much he hated Israel. And then he was inviting me to come to Palestine to like prove it. And I listened to him all the way into Chicago. And I'm just like, I won't ever do that again. Like, and I was actually kind of worried. Like, he made me uncomfortable. Not that I'm not saying anything bigger picture. Just he was so intense and so angry and so mad. And what he was talking about was just like, wow, please take me to the hotel. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, definitely check the license plate. Make sure they're following the maps.
They have 911. I did ask because the second driver was telling me about the crazy people in his car. He's like, we have a 911 button. He's like, I call the cops on people all the time. They don't get out of the car. I hit the button. They want me to stop. I hit the button. And I'm like, to the cops? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to talk anymore. He's going to call the cops on me. But the first driver I had was, what? was so interesting. So I had like an hour ride to the airport, and like 10 minutes in, I'm like, I am going to get top secret information out of this. He was a retired Navy, worked in the submarines. So from like out of Cape Canaveral, and like submarines with like nukes on them. And he had like this top secret clearance. Cause I immediately, like once I hear, oh, you used to work in submarines, I'm like, I want to hear about submarines. How does it work here? Do you guys shoot missiles here? Do you have nuclear stuff? Do you have this? And he's like, I can't really tell you some of those things. And I was like, excellent.
He's just trying to sound
That's what
cooler.
I'm saying.
know.
The first question I have is he full of baloney or...
Yeah.
But did you know this? This is incredible. And he also told me similar to, remember how I told you that my transnational security professor told me about, because he was in the CIA, told me about like what the satellites could do in the 70s. And I was like blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, all that stuff is real. Well, similarly, he was like, back in the 80s, what these certain screens on these submarines, like they had like LCD flat screen, like touch screen stuff. And he said you could touch any port and see. What I'm getting at is he helped lay the underwater acoustics. And did you know every port you go into, every boat, ship, whatever, it shoots out the information on the ship. So they know everything about every ship that goes in and out based on, I didn't know that. That blows my
Sounds
mind.
right.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen like the sky map of airplanes? It's kind of crazy, like how many planes are in the sky at one time. It's
If
insane.
you
That
actually
is-
take
that
a
is
second to
scary.
think about it,
That's
you're like, how
scary.
do we not run into each
Yeah.
other?
Yeah. If you ever look
Oh,
up in
for
the
sure.
sky, you're like, oh, there's a plane.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another plane.
Have you ever looked out the window and seen one like at a different
Yeah.
level than you going by?
Yeah.
That's really
Yep.
creepy.
Maybe that dude was legit then.
No,
you know?
he was really, really interesting. And like I said, what he was telling me of a submarine's capabilities to put. So I guess years ago, something about nuclear came up with another country, so they couldn't fill the 24 slots with nuclear torpedoes anymore. They filled them with
Cold
something
War?
else.
Could have been the Cold War.
That's probably it. You're the historian. I'm just rich.
Being in a submarine sounds really scary to me, if I'm being honest.
So you got all the
No
nautical
way.
information from this
Yeah,
cat.
it was really cool.
That's
It was really interesting. Well, all that he would tell me. I was like, what about this? And he's like, I don't.
kill you.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, we don't need to know
I
that.
kind of think that maybe there's probably, because of what Uber is, there's probably legitimately some people who are retired and are just doing that, and you can make some good money at it. Where
I've heard that before. I've
Yeah.
had drivers say I do this to get out of the house and to talk, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'll talk.
At the games 2019, I had an Uber driver, and she was driving to help pay for her cancer bills.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh,
It's really sad.
that would get me.
when I was in
A little
Arizona
choked
getting
up.
my tattoo, I had a guy tell me about his divorce. Like it was 6:30 in the evening, and he was in pajamas.
What?
Yeah. And he was like, I just woke up. And he started telling me this whole thing, and he never shut up. And he talked and talked and talked. And I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm just trying to get to the airport. And then to make it worse, when we got done, he said, hey, he literally, I don't know this guy from nobody.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I would pray for him. Like getting out of the car. And you're like, hell
right-
no, man. Get myself out of the car and get me in the airport. Like,
You're like the most compassionate person on the planet.
that's not what happened, man. I was like,
Such an opportunity
I
right there.
respect you being honest though, and not yeah.
the word
Like
I
he
wa-
wanted you to pray for him right
This
there.
guy
Or like-
here,
In general.
Fucked'd me all the way to the airport. I ain't praying for him. I'm
That's
sorry.
That's good.
Silver, you're like literally the world's best listener on the planet. And I can't even imagine you in that situation.
I'm telling you
in a
what, I
hurry.
listen to people a lot, and that was
So when you're
it.
tapped out, you're tapped out.
I'm just like, well, think about it. Are we fixing any of the guy's problems on the way there? No. He's just
Maybe you
bouncing.
didn't put enough effort in.
Maybe I should have prayed for the guy.
This doesn't sound like your story at
Yeah,
all.
I mean,
This doesn't sound like you at all.
Have you had a
for
bad
sure.
day today?
I
Are
swear
you
that's what
okay?
happened.
do you
Lord,
need to
forgive
talk
me, I have
about it?
sinned.
Silver, are you sure? I'm worried about you right now.
I couldn't even get a word in edgewise. He just talked to me the whole time, and I was like, hey, make sure you take a right here. Take a right here. Get this. Here's the turn. Turn right here. Okay, good.
What if he would have missed the turn? Would you have jumped out of the car?
He needed you.
Just
Huh?
open the door.
No, he didn't.
I think he needed you.
What he needed actually was
Counseling.
a counselor, some strong meds, and walls with pads. I don't know. Like,
Silver, you don't mean that.
You don't mean that.
He might
I
mean
for
it.
sure mean that. Just because people want to be helped, we've been through this.
I know.
Doesn't mean we can help them. And so
True.
And here I was just going to ask you about mindset tools,
And so let's pivot.
from Uber drivers, I also got in the wrong Uber one time with the lady who spoke. This was in Miami, who only spoke Spanish. Mm-hmm. And I didn't do what you said. She was like waving at me. I'm like, oh, that has to be the right one. And I didn't look at the
She knows what I look like.
Yeah,
Weird.
patient.
took me to the wrong place. And then I couldn't speak
And then
English
you
to
had
her.
to pay for it. Yeah.
And then I was doing like Google Translate, and she's yelling at me and mad at me. And so I'm like, just put me out now. So she dropped me off on some corner
You're
of some
lucky you didn't
place
get
in
the
Miami. I didn't even
911
know where it
button.
was.
She could have
I got
police buttoned
stories
you.
for you people.
I got stories.
Plenty.
Let's get out of here. Next subject.
I always go back and forth with like how much do I want to talk to him and how much do I just want to be left alone. Depends on the mood. Yeah.
It depends on the driver though too. Like some drivers, like they know like immediately, like man, they don't want to talk. And there are some that are the retired person that are like, that won't, like the one that dropped me off yesterday afternoon. Like I'm in the car parked in my driveway. They're still talking, and I'm like, how am I not being rude? But I'm sliding out the door. But they're like in mid thought, and I'm like,
Well, when we were in China, Hillary, China, and I got into I guess on an Uber, a cab, and it was like all like he was like protected in this little case from us. So
do they not have Uber? there?
What?
yeah, like his taxi cab had like a wall, like a plastic wall thing. So
They knew the virus was
Yeah, I
coming
was
way
about to
back
say,
then.
and this was pre-COVID.
so he was.
How do we not
safe.
see that?
He did not speak any English. Wait, what?
China and China.
No.
Yeah, I know. I was confused. I was
Sorry.
about to say what?
Yes.
Were you with?
We only
Oh.
survived because Ellie
China.
printed out the address where we needed to go.
It warms my heart that you use that.
Luckily, was it the right address? Because remember, we got switched to different hotel.
But it
remember?
was, we were going, I
Oh.
think, back to the gym. And none of us had
Oh,
any
okay.
service. We had barely any money. And we got someone to finally stop for us. And I was just like,
That's exactly what I did in London. I wrote down the address.
They speak
Yeah.
English.
I was gonna
That's true, though. That's true. I didn't have English.
you know what? I did
Or
say
they
ni
didn't,
hao
yeah.
and shay shay for
Ni
that was
hao
polite.
every time.
Ni hao.
Ni hao. Ni
Everyone
hao.
was sick of
Ni hao. And
That would be
then
terrifying.
Tasha's like, ni hao.
Yeah.
The first couple days, shay shay, shay shay, shay shay, shay shay.
What was the deal with you guys? Like, were in some sort of Airbnb, and then
We
you
weren't
got
even
what
there.
kicked
We
out,
weren't even
or-
there yet, and it was like an illegal Airbnb, and they got taken out by the cops, Facundo and
What is an illegal
And
Airbnb?
I think it was, what's his name?
Christoph.
Yeah, Christoph. I remember we had traveled for over 24 hours. Bless you. I had to pee. Like, you know, that's the worst when I think about the memory. The worst time you had to pee so bad, but you were so afraid because didn't want to get outside and pee in the middle of the night in China. And then we couldn't go into the Airbnb, and we finally made it there. But then we didn't know where we were going. Oh my
And
gosh,
then we got moved different Airbnbs,
it was horrible.
and then we're walking through this hall to the Airbnb, and I'm like, "There's no way we're staying here. No way." Luckily, it wasn't the nicest place, but once we got
Yes.
inside the Airbnb, it was nice-ish. But in the walls, when we were walking in the hallway, I'm like, no way.
It was
Not a
fun.
chance. It was fun.
Looking
It was an
back.
experience.
Yeah, that's
It was not fun when we were there, actually.
No, 0%.
You're going back sometime soon.
Probably not soon, but you know, there's travel bans and stuff. So
Listen to you. You're so sweet. What you meant was translation. Hell no, never again. That's what she
It was
meant.
just difficult, like it's
Yeah.
just a barrier there, and it's
yeah, the
hard.
language and culture barrier. is
Culture
like,
and language, yeah.
is
Like we went and
huge.
tried to eat someplace, and they didn't accept Visa or any
Really?
like anything.
Wow.
And then the menu, they had English translations, and they were not any close to what the translation was, and it was. It
We
was
ordered
tough.
so much food and didn't eat
Any
any.
of
We were
it.
eating gummy bears at the dinner
It
table.
was.
Oh my
it was.
gosh.
It was rough.
Did you guys eat anything like traditional that turned out to be good?
There was this meat that I'm not sure what it was that we got. Remember we ordered in? That was good.
I don't remember.
You guys
We
ate
ate
pizza,
pizza.
most of the time.
We had
Survival.
a lot of pizza.
Yeah.
Gummy
And
bears
protein
and
bars.
pizza?
I gained like 5 pounds on this
A lot of
trip.
pizza, a lot of
It was
protein
insatiable.
bars.
A lot of protein bars.
Yeah.
Somebody I heard on the news the other day that the guy who is the owner of the Chinese equivalent to Amazon, he's just a bazillionaire. He said something. You could Google it. He said something bad about the Chinese government, and he hasn't been
Dead?
seen for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Like he's been disappeared.
He's been
Like
disappeared.
this
He's
is
been
not
disappeared.
got into the wrong Uber.
yeah. I'm thinking somebody put him in the wrong Uber.
Oh
Probably.
no.
He gone.
He
That's a
gone.
bummer.
It's just a different sort of society. They do things a little bit different than we do.
Do you want to hear something funny?
Yes.
I don't know if you guys don't think it's funny.
Probably not.
I like my dad's Chick-fil-A story that still makes me chuckle. Helly? Anyway. Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
Was that goofy?
So I was like really confused at what was happening.
Yeah.
That was the story. He kept sticking his head out the window going, Helly? And I'm like, Dad, you don't tell him your name. Stop yelling my name out the window. I'm embarrassed.
Helly, it didn't work the first time.
Ben laughed. So it's okay.
Okay, it
The
worked.
noise was funny.
He's laughing at the
Anyways,
noise.
what's the funny story? I want to
It's not really a funny story. It's a funny word. So I don't know. On M30, we were coming up with something. And I was talking about there's only really 2 things that make me not put me in a crabby mood. If I don't get to exercise and if I don't get to eat. And Kim, shout out to Kim,
She's awesome.
goes, you were wangry. And I was like, wangry? I love that word. That's
Work
so
out
good.
angry?
You work out angry.
Don't
but
use
then
that word.
It's a double positive. We looked it up on Urban Dictionary. You know what it means?
Yes.
When you don't get wine and you're
Yeah.
angry. You're wangry. But I'm going to use it as a workout. You keep looking at me like
Take
that's...
off the RY.
Yeah, like in the athletic circles I came up in,
Yeah?
wang means something else. So for you to be talking about being
We just
wangry,
thought it meant if you don't get to work out, you're wangry.
Let's
But
not-
I've been saying on M30 every other day that I'm wangry because
don't do that.
Could have a third meaning, I guess.
Wangry is a
Yep.
slang term for male
I just figured
genitalia.
that out about a minute ago.
Well, And on that note,
So don't do that.
So, Kim,
Bring back the
moving forward-
positivity, Tasia.
As your friend, I'm asking you not to say you're wangry.
No, good grief. Anyway,
What time are we at, Ben?
49.
oh
Okay.
goodness.
Is that too much?
No.
I was.
No.
I got you.
was clean.
Hey,
I
it's
tried to
always,
be
it's
like-
always. Hey.
Well, yet another pivot.
this is actually interesting. You guys are gonna roll your eyes and call me heavy. It's fine.
Here we go.
And
I still think if you're not gonna keep that straw, Tasia gave me a retractable one, but I could use another.
can I
Is
ask
that
a
some
question
new
real
product?
quick
No.
before you do
Yes.
this?
Please.
Go ahead.
You're never gonna use that.
Jim?
Can
that
I,
new product,
Can I
Rich?
bring up something?
Yes.
Looks like it.
Have you ever done this? Is this just me? This is not good. I'm just thinking about
I can think about his wangry.
like integrity problems.
Okay.
All right, like
Why are you looking at me?
no, not you. I'm trying to sort this out. But I have done this multiple times. Like the whole idea of doing what's right. I'm not even trying. I'm trying to be kind of funny here, but then yet make a point. I go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I turn the water on, but I don't wash my hands. I turn the water on.
I wish you didn't tell me this.
Do you wash your hands before or
No,
after?
But
Are you trying to make everyone
You
think
wash
you
your hands
wash your
before.
hands,
Right.
or you're? I thought you
well,
needed
it's-
the waterfall
it's-
effect.
But it's not really for everybody else. It's just so I turn
trick
the water
everybody
on. I turn it on like, okay, yep, I'm doing the right thing, and then I leave. Or I'll turn the water on and actually, I'm not this is making sense, I'm sorry, but actually like wash my hands and walk out. And I got mad at myself the other day, like, why would you do that?
Why
That
would
you wash your hands?
No, but why are you turning the water on and not washing your hands?
Yeah,
why
I
are you
just don't
doing
even
that?
Wash my hands.
I mean, I want to. I'm kind of wondering
how
the
weird is that?
the reality of. I don't know. I feel like I'll get.
It's not for anybody else. I'm not concerned about anybody else's things, but I'm like, just either go to the bathroom and leave, or go to the bathroom and wash your hands, but don't turn the water on and then shut it off like you did something. I think there's seriously
Yeah.
something wrong with
Are you doing
me.
that to change, like for other people to hear that you turn the water on so they don't shame you?
No, it's not really about anybody else.
Oh, I thought it was that. That's
no,
what I thought
it's
you were
this
doing. it for.
disconnect in my head that like I just
Serious
don't
question though. You should actually wash your hands before you go to the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Preach it.
Interesting.
Tell them why.
Because you don't want anybody else touching down
Yeah.
there.
That's what I'm saying. Tabitha gets so mad. She said, "Did you wash your hands?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "That's disgusting. Don't touch anything." I'm like,
I didn't touch
like
it.
how many things do my hands touch throughout the day versus like my
Yeah.
stuff? You know what I mean?
And I know where
It's in my
been.
pants all day.
Nowhere.
There's no germs down there. Like I need to be washing my hands before I use the bathroom. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean seriously.
I think if we're gonna do this right, you wash them before and after.
No,
and then
just
you're
before.
covered.
Just before is enough.
Depends on which bathroom, which one or two you go.
Oh, I mean that's true. If you go to a gas station bathroom,
Yeah.
Oh.
actually just don't even do
I
that.
don't
Just
even
go
touch.
outside.
I don't touch anything.
Just go in the back. Oh yeah, that's what I'm
Yesterday
saying.
when
though.
I went, like, cause we went to some like northern Florida, lower Alabama gas station, and I was like, oh, okay, one of those that you use the elbow to get in,
Ooh.
Yeah.
and then grabbed. I didn't even wash my hands because I grabbed toilet paper
Right.
or paper towel to open the door and threw
Yeah.
it away, and I'm out. I'm
Ooh,
like,
that sounds like
no
a really-
touch, you know, touch
No-
my
no
waistband. That
touch.
was it. I'm out.
Didn't touch it.
When you go to the grocery store, do you use the wipes on the cart handle?
Nah, dude.
Not really.
I do that now.
Really?
I haven't
Yeah.
lately. Like
I have been
since
just
I
because
used
I
to,
don't
but
know.
now
I don't
I'm-
think they were as available before.
I'm gonna get so COVID shamed right now, but I don't do any of the things that they tell you to do.
Like I'm not even so for me. I'm not really jammed up about COVID. I'm more thinking now about like
I just don't want to get a stomach bug.
yeah.
I'd rather
those
get
are
I'd
the
rather
worst.
get COVID than a stomach bug.
I've
already had COVID, though.
Every
Yeah, but
time
yeah,
you
you
say
went-
that.
And I'm
COVID
not
and it
making it
wasn't-
light. Sorry,
Yeah.
like there's people that. But
For
I
you
had a
personally,
stomach bug
Yeah.
when I was in Phoenix, and I would have rather died than have that stomach bug
You've
again.
my
had quite a
mom's
few
fault.
stomach
It
bugs.
was terrible.
Where
The
where was
coffee
it
can to this day
on the
lives
trip
on in
where
my
you
memory.
and Darren both got sick with some sort of, or was it just
It was
Darren?
just Darren.
The
It was
vertigo
we were
thing?
in
Wasn't that
Amarillo.
Texas?
Amarillo. Yeah, from a stomach thing, and
Yeah,
that.
You had stomach bug at
man.
Train with Rich. That was
That
your
was
coffee
like
can
3
story.
years ago.
Yeah.
It was 3 years ago.
Yeah, but you get them. I feel like you've had more than that.
I've had it like 3 times in the past 5 years.
Yeah, that's.
I got something coming back from it
And
was London.
Pretty sure everybody has at least gotten a stomach
Hey,
bug.
I've
stomach
got
bug.
it plenty of times.
Well, what happened when you come back from
I was
London?
like Hillary and I both got sick. Was that?
Oh yeah,
London?
you guys were laying in LAX airport underneath the seats.
I was laying on the floor.
I think everybody was.
Underneath,
You,
yeah.
Darren, Jess, it was from Australia, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Australia.
And you
yeah,
got
it was
sick?
A good capper coming back.
Yeah.
Really sick. I spent like $65 on sweatpants because I was freezing.
Because I think Royce got it too, right?
Yeah.
Royce had it first, or like
wow.
whatever.
Patient
and-
zero.
I have this picture, and Jess gave me Ivy's little blanket, and I'm like laying on the floor at the airport with like my head on the ground, and her little blanket just covered this much of my body.
Just underneath the seats. Like,
It was horrible.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's like part of the whole COVID thing that I think is like the idea of just washing your hands and being cleaner and covering your mouth and doing all that's
Yeah.
actually been pretty like a silver lining to the trouble.
Yeah.
You know, it's made me think about that a little bit more.
Planes are definitely like I said, I've been back and forth to Florida a couple times in the last couple months, and this last time, so now Southwest doesn't have the seat between anymore.
Yeah.
It was 100% full flight. There was
Yeah.
not a seat either direction. I was like, what in the like? The
Back
tickets
to
were
it.
still cheap, but
Back
like
to it.
Yeah.
not one seat, and everyone had their Mickey ears on, and they were just partying on. So
Masks? Did they make you wear masks?
yeah, you definitely can't like. They were like, if the person would like have their drink on the tray and they weren't drinking, they're like, put your mask back on.
Hey, you remember that when we were traveling to the games in 2018, and I was like sitting in an aisle seat, and it was like ballin', and then this woman came back with her small child, and they're like, "Hey, is there anyone who's willing to give up their seat so that we could sit together?" And they were like standing over me, and I was like, "Sure, I'd love to." And then they sent me to the last row of the plane. Remember this?
To the
Those
middle
two
seat.
giant guys, like these
Yeah.
guys who were like,
Tage was sitting on the
I was
end.
sitting like this, like
Oh no.
That was so funny.
all the way to Madison, Wisconsin.
We were like watching as it happened. I was like, oh no, she's
Yeah.
back. That was
the,
really funny.
the solution to a problem can't be worse than the problem. The solution to the problem can't be worse than the
Okay,
problem.
wait,
So,
explain it.
so whatever we say, COVID,
Yeah.
the solution to the problem cannot do more damage than the problem. That's just common sense. So you were like, back to it. Yeah. You know what was awesome? And I'm not trying to, that's all I'm saying. The solution to the problem can't do more damage than the problem in the end. That's fundamentally a problem for me.
Yep.
Right? So I'm not saying it wasn't a thing and people haven't got hurt, and that's all very true. And I recognize and acknowledge all of that. I'm just saying from a 30,000 foot view, it was so awesome to see people in the stands of the playoff games this weekend.
Yes.
Oh,
and
they're
like-
back. They're allowed
Yeah.
back.
Limited
Limited capacity.
Interesting.
7,000.
Probably 20-ish, I bet.
Were there?
I think it's like 20% capacity. So most of those stadiums are like, I know the Titans at one point, it was 21 or 21%, which whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of those, I guess the NFL stadiums don't hold as much as college, but still probably 15,
Yeah.
How many were allowed when you went to that game?
21%.
Oh,
whatever
same.
that was.
That's
yeah,
what
so
you-
I
gotcha.
forgot what that is.
I saw Patrick Mahomes got a concussion.
Did you see that play?
Yeah.
It
That
did
was-
not look like he hit his head. It looked like he got choked out.
Yeah, literally when he went down.
And then he was just like,
Yeah. His eyes when he got up were
it did not look all there.
no.
Ooh.
That was scary.
Yeah, that
Him
was way
and
cool.
Lamar
Yep.
both.
And but when he went down, he
Yeah,
hit
his
hard.
head hit
And-
hard. But like when I saw Mahomes, I was
hard.
like, he didn't get a concussion. He probably just
Right.
got like carotid out,
Yeah.
you know, like. And it wasn't actually a dirty play or anything. The guy just
Right.
kind of rode his
Yeah.
neck to the ground, which whatever. But it was, and then Henny stepped up. That was kind of cool to see.
That was really cool.
Him
Like
tuck it and
Yeah.
go for that first down, even though he was short, was pretty cool.
I love it when somebody sees an opportunity and then
they
they
do it.
seize it.
Yep.
Because that dude's a backup
Yeah.
perennial, and that's
he's
what it is.
Been back up for 10 years.
Yeah. And now they've said step up in this huge moment, and he was
He
like,
did.
all right, I'm all
He
in.
threw that one interception though. I was like,
Oh no.
gosh.
Oh.
Granted, it was a good punt, really.
Right.
But
Right.
oh man,
For him to take off and run for that first down and just go all in, I
Yep.
was like, yes.
yeah, it was good.
That's awesome.
That's Saint. All those games were pretty good. A couple of them looked like they were going to get out of hand, but then they kind of all stayed within. I guess
Yeah.
Green Bay kind of blew out.
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
Tom's still playing, so.
Yeah.
So you're now a bandwagon.
Okay, I'm
Tampa
not
Bay
a
fan?
bandwagon fan, but since the Patriots have not been playing,
Yeah, they're not good
I'll
this
just
year.
choose Tom.
Oh, just
Him, like not even the team,
That's
just
awesome.
Tom.
I love that. That's good. I just choose.
Honestly, I
I'm like,
guess.
go Tom, everyone else.
And you're not really.
I
That's
feel-
not fair weather for
I
you.
feel bad that was Breeze's
Me
last game.
too.
He does not. He just.
Yeah.
It looks like those ribs
Yeah.
did him in.
Like I didn't really think about it until the commentators were talking about. Look, he hasn't thrown the ball down the field over 20 yards.
You could tell.
Oh,
you could
gosh.
tell. He broke like 11 or 12 ribs,
Right.
right?
Oh
Something
my
like that.
goodness.
How?
A couple weeks
how?
ago. He got drilled, but
that's a lot of ribs to break.
Yeah.
And he can
I
still
was
play
bummed
with that.
about that.
Yeah.
I was
That's
bummed.
He
about that.
sat out a
horrible.
couple weeks, but I think
Oh.
because I like him. He's always
Yeah.
been kind of an
That's a
undersized
good
guy
man.
and like
Yeah.
seems like a good dude. So, but man,
the camera followed him on his way out, and so I'm watching really close, you know, and he's kind of waving to the crowd or whatever, and there's not much of a crowd, and then right before he went into the tunnel, he turned and he looked back, and that look back was like,
That's
let
it.
me grab this one more time, but then his head snapped back around really quick, like I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it was
that's-
all very. If you were just thinking about what somebody is telling you
Yeah.
via their body language,
Yeah.
it was super interesting, and I was like, dang it.
you could just see it on his face too on the
Yes.
sideline after he threw that last pick.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like you could see. Yeah, it just didn't look good.
They had the camera and the microphones really close to him and
Sean.
Brady at the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you heard part of the conversation, and they acknowledged each other, and Tom said something like, "Hey man, like I'll be in touch. We need to be talking soon. Let's kind of thing." And then they kind of went off.
Did you see after the game? Tom walked out. And he was in like street clothes.
No.
And Drew and his kids were out there throwing football on the floor,
cool.
and Brady threw one of his sons a touchdown.
Oh,
So that was
cool.
pretty cool.
That is really
Cool.
cool.
They like kind of
Goals.
talked and like high fives
Yeah,
and stuff
right.
like that.
Yeah.
Wham! Right in the face. So many jokes, and I'm gonna leave that right there.
I think we're at an hour.
Oh, good grief.
I do like. I really would have liked to have been different, but I kind of like Tom Brady.
I
as
love
a
Tom Brady.
competitor,
Yeah.
man.
Love
You're
Tom.
like-
It's like I
Yeah.
wasn't a Yankees fan, not a Yankees fan, but Jeter.
yeah.
You just appreciate greatness.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady's the same way. I'll root for Tampa Bay because I
Yeah,
like Tom
100%.
Brady. You know,
Especially to be a dude and be
Yeah.
nobody, and then all that he's created, and you can't even argue. He's just
just a winner.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Pays
really
to be a winner.
Football, Ben. Football.
Football.
Don't know nothing about it.
Ben doesn't get it.
It's the sport of kings, better than diamond rings.
Wow.
Football. What movie?
You said that we've talked
Come
about it
on,
on this
man.
podcast.
I have no idea.
Wildcats. Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that.
Wildcats.
Yeah, that's probably my day.
We'll get along
Sorry, I
with somewhere.
sung there. I know it's a little pitchy, dog, but
It's
It's
a little
beautiful.
pitchy.
Sing us out.
no.
Yeah.
My
Ben?
bad.
Any Ben Spearsies?
Nope.
Nothing.
Inauguration
Inauguration.
tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, it's
You know, it also is tomorrow, and I didn't know this, and now I'm really, really nervous. I get my, I have to go to the doctor for my life insurance thing or whatever, and they take your blood apparently.
Yeah.
You're nervous about that?
Dude, I can't do needles.
Really?
Last time when I had rhabdo and
You and
the
Tasia.
stomach bug,
Yeah.
they took my blood, and I literally thought I was gonna die. I was squeezing my mom's hand, everything was going black, and like I was just like in and out, and I was like, Mom, I'm so weak.
Well, I'm gonna have to fast till like 2:15 for our next Inside Tracker blood draw. I might faint.
I might bring my
can't
mom
wait.
with me tomorrow.
Like Ben,
Tabitha
you should
can't
have been
see me
there
like that.
when Rich got stem cell in his knee.
Oh my gosh.
The guy, no sedation. He took a needle and then jabbed it around in his knee multiple times.
That wasn't even the worst. Do you remember he broke up that
That's
calcium
what I'm
deposit
thinking
on my
of.
kneecap?
I think I
remember
still have a
that?
video
Yeah.
of it. Like, it was like,
He took like a 16 gauge
Oh,
or
it
18
was
gauge
so
needle. It was
big.
just like you could see it on the ultrasound, and he's just jamming this needle trying to break that.
That was
calcium.
But you
legit.
could
I
see
kept
the
watching your
bone,
face,
like-
and you were just like, you were dealing with it, but I was like, that.
you could see like there was like a little bit of like
not right.
perspiration, but your face looked like there was no pain at all, and your bone was like
That
going
might be one of
up
the
and
most
down as it
excruciating
broke
things
apart.
That was crazy.
Oh
It was not
gosh.
fun.
Yeah.
I remember that now. I
That
forgot
nurse
about
was
that.
like, she pulls out that big needle and like goes to put my arm. I was like, ma'am, can we please have a smaller needle? She said, this is the smallest.
No.
She said, this is the one we use on
It was
babies.
the best last time we did Inside Tracker. I walked up and I could, like, as I'm walking in, I see the window to upstairs and Tasia's in there and she's just like,
I've done it a couple times.
her
while
head
crying.
could have not gotten farther away or more turned away from her arm. She's like,
The woman who normally does it, she's awesome.
sweet.
She's
Yeah.
amazing
She's
too.
the
She's
best.
good at it.
She's
And
so
I love,
good.
she's like tough love. I've had some people that are like, you know, okay, like relax, like lay down. I like her. She's like, sit down, just we're fine. You got it. I'm like, okay, it's fine.
When I was working for the ambulance service, Ben, I was getting my last. You had to get so many you call them sticks, starting IVs to get certified, and I'm at church, and the 911 comes up on the little nursery thing, which means there's somebody that needs medical attention. So I go out into the lobby, and a paramedic who was a friend of mine, she's kind of running the call, and there's a girl on the ground, and she needs an IV. And so I have one stick left. That's all I need is one stick to get certified. And Cheryl asked me, how many you need? I need one. She's like, right on. She goes, this patient we run on all the time, and she's a psych patient. So I don't know whether she's faking it or not right now, but here's what I want you to do. So starting an IV in, here in the biceps, the easiest place to hit. She said, I want you to go for one in the hand. Ooh. And I want you to fish for it. Meaning I want you to stick the needle in there and kind of move it around, because we're going to figure out right away whether she's faking it or this is a real deal. And so, yeah, Yo Chick came off the ground in a hurry when I started fishing on her hand. Yeah. Faker! Faker!
Gotcha!
The one in my hand didn't bother me. It was the one they put in this arm.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like seeing the blood come out of the, like into that tube and just like fill up. And which is weird, is like blood doesn't bother me, but for some reason when it's coming out of a needle,
it's different.
I'm just like,
because like shots and stuff don't bother me either. Like getting a
my
shot
gosh, actually,
it's like the idea of it going into my arm. I don't know.
When Tabitha got her epidural, it was like 6 a.m. and we had slept 2 hours. That guy pulls out that huge needle and starts like sterilizing her back and goes to put it in, and the nurse was like, "Hey, you need to hold her hands," So I was holding Tabitha's hands, and like I was getting like just black was just just pounding in my head. And I was like, dude, I'm messed up. I didn't say that. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I'm about to faint. Yeah. And as soon as he was done, I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, and I had to sit down on the toilet. I didn't use the bathroom. I just sat there for a good minute because I thought I was about to die. Yeah. I come back out there, and everybody's like, you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And everybody's like, well, you don't look good. Yeah. And I was not good. That was horrible.
Yeah, needles, you've gotten better, though. I mean,
I've gotten better.
You really are not going to... It's going to be okay. You've been through it enough now.
I still don't look forward to it all day, but most of the time it's in the morning, so I just wake up and go do it. So I'll have to. I'm growing, right? I'm learning not to think about it all day.
What's crazy is the things that you've done athletically when it comes to pain.
It's not even painful.
It's are so much worse than that happening to you. It's just a mental thing that you have to.
It totally is.
Yeah.
I think needle scale as opposed to all the other things you've done, definitely.
Let's start some IVs when we're done with the podcast.
You know what? I think I'm going to sit this one out.
Yeah.
I'll practice when I have to.
Yeah, I used to be certified. Can I try some?
No.
Adversity challenge?
No.
Veins don't change over the years,
No.
Certification is long expired, but I think I can still do it.
Oh, jeez.
All right, is that an hour?
Yep, 1:07.
So see you later, dudes.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.